In the heart of the wild, a force of nature is on the move. Imagine a 2-ton tank, covered in thick gray armor, with a horn that can pierce through almost anything. This isn't a machine of war. It's a rhinoceros, one of the most powerful land animals on Earth, and when it charges, the world had better get out of its way. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible and sometimes destructive power of a rhino charge. What happens to the environment when this living battering ram decides to run? It's a story of brute force, surprising ecological impact, and the raw, untamed spirit of the wild. First, let's set the scene. Rhinos are massive herbivores, typically weighing between 1 and 3 tons. Despite their size, they can reach surprising speeds, some clocking in at over 30 miles per hour. That's faster than Usain Bolt. Now, why would such a colossal creature need to run so fast? The reasons are usually tied to survival, defending territory from a rival, protecting a calf from a predator like a lion or hyena, or simply being startled by a sudden noise or perceived threat. Their eyesight is notoriously poor, so they often rely on a charge first, ask questions later strategy. When a rhino charges, it's not just running, it's a full-body commitment. Its head is down, its powerful legs are pumping, and all that momentum is focused forward. Now imagine this happening not on an open plain, but in a dense forest or a thicket of bushland. The result is pure chaos. Small trees, saplings, and bushes that stand in its path don't stand a chance. They are snapped, trampled, and literally flattened. It's like a natural bulldozer clearing a path. The sound alone is terrifying, a symphony of cracking wood, rustling leaves, and the thunderous thud of hooves hitting the earth. This path of destruction, which might look like pure devastation at first glance, actually plays a fascinating and complex role in the ecosystem. Ecologists call this phenomenon mega-herbivore engineering. Just as beavers build dams and change waterways, rhinos, through their sheer force, reshape their environment. The trails they create by charging through dense vegetation become new pathways for smaller animals. Suddenly, a thick, impenetrable bush is opened up, allowing antelopes, warthogs, and even smaller predators to move through the area more easily, find new foraging grounds, or escape danger. These cleared paths also let sunlight reach the forest floor, which was previously shaded by a dense canopy. This new light stimulates the growth of different kinds of plants, grasses, and flowers that couldn't survive in the shade. This, in turn, attracts a whole new suite of insects, birds, and herbivores that feed on these sun-loving plants. So a single rhino's moment of panic or aggression can inadvertently create a ripple effect, increasing the biodiversity of that small patch of forest. It's a powerful reminder that in nature, destruction and creation are often two sides of the same coin. Let's talk about the specific types of damage. A rhino's charge is not a delicate dance, it's a brute force assault. Saplings with trunks as thick as your arm can be snapped in half. Larger bushes are completely uprooted, their roots torn from the soil. The ground itself is heavily compacted by the rhino's immense weight, which can affect water drainage and make it difficult for some seeds to germinate. In areas with high rhino density, these repeated charges can maintain open glades within the forest, preventing it from becoming uniformly dense and creating a mosaic of different habitats. You might be wondering if this is harmful to the forest in the long run. For the most part, ecosystems that have co-evolved with megafauna like rhinos for millions of years are resilient to this kind of disturbance. The forest has a natural ability to recover. Broken branches become decomposing organic matter, enriching the soil. The gaps created are quickly colonized by pioneer plant species. It is a cycle of disturbance and regrowth that is fundamental to the health of many natural landscapes. The problem only arises when these natural processes are thrown out of balance, usually by human activity. Think about the sheer physics involved. A 4,000-pound rhino moving at 30 miles per hour has an incredible amount of kinetic energy. It's comparable to a small car hitting a wall. But instead of a wall, it's a living, breathing forest. The force is distributed through its powerful skull and horn. The horn isn't bone. It's made of keratin, the same protein found in your hair and fingernails, but it's densely packed and incredibly strong. It acts as the tip of the spear, the first point of impact that shatters and splits obstacles before the rhino's full body weight plows through. There are also instances where rhinos charge at inanimate objects. There are countless stories and videos of rhinos charging at vehicles on safari. Their poor eyesight often leads them to mistake a rumbling engine and a large metal box for a rival or a threat. The damage to a car can be immense: dented doors, shattered windows, and even punctured tires from that formidable horn. It is a stark reminder to always keep a safe distance and respect their space in the wild. A safari vehicle is no match for a determined rhino. But the most important part of this story is the rhino itself. These magnificent animals are critically endangered. Poaching for their horns has decimated their populations across Africa and Asia. The very force of nature we've been describing is under threat of disappearing forever. When we lose rhinos, we don't just lose a species. We lose the ecosystem engineers, the gardeners of the savannah, the creators of pathways and clearings. The forest will become a different, less dynamic and less diverse place without them. The trails they blaze are not just physical paths. They are threads in the intricate web of life. Without the rhino's charge, the forest canopy might close over, shading out the undergrowth. The smaller animals that relied on those paths and clearings might struggle to find food or move around. The entire structure of the ecosystem could shift. It highlights how the presence of a single keystone species can have far-reaching consequences that we are only just beginning to understand. Conservation efforts are working tirelessly to protect the remaining rhinos. Anti-poaching patrols, community education programs, and translocation projects are all crucial pieces of the puzzle. By supporting these initiatives, we are not just saving an animal from extinction. We are preserving the natural processes that keep our planet's ecosystems healthy and resilient. We are ensuring that the thunderous sound of a rhino charging through the undergrowth continues to echo through the wild, shaping the landscape as it has for millennia. So the next time you see a picture of a rhino, don't just see a large, horned animal. See a force of nature, a landscape artist, a keystone species whose every action, even a destructive charge, has a purpose and a profound impact on the world around it. The story of the rhino destroying the forest is not one of senseless destruction, but one of powerful, chaotic, and ultimately life-giving creation. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the power of the rhino. If you found this fascinating, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from the wild. Let me know in the comments what you think about the rhino's role as an ecosystem engineer. Stay curious and we'll see you in the next video.